What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm testing out my new camera. Now, I already filmed a video with this camera, but I made a mistake of putting it in the wrong internal storage. So here is take two. I feel like I wasted 30 minutes of footage, but the good thing about this is you make mistakes and you learn and you try it again. So never give up. So here I am, take two, testing out my new DJI Osmo Pocket 3. And see how the quality comes out. I'm out here in Makati in Metro Manila in the Philippines, and I'm gonna film around some areas. I'm in the Glorieta area, so I'm gonna film around the mall outside to show you the new developments going on, how they're renovating the area. So without further ado, join me. So here we go, this is the outside. And there are multiple malls that are connected to each other. They got the Glorieta, and then if you go that way, it's Greenbelt, which is also a super high-end mall. But the light is waiting here, and it's 106 degrees Fahrenheit outside, which is like 41 Celsius. I'm gonna shelter here in the sun until it's a green light for me to cross. Still feel a little disappointed that I messed up the first time I filmed with this video, but hey, new camera, sometimes, even if it's from the same brand, you can mess up sometimes. Just proves it that no matter how long you've been a blogger, you know, mistakes can still happen. The division between Glorieta and Greenbelt, you can literally go overpasses towards Greenbelt, and they have a park in the inside, so it's a beautiful mall. And this is still part of Greenbelt. See the stores Balenciaga, Gucci, and they have the Ayala Museum. But over here, I'm gonna merge towards the other side to show you the new developments of what is happening, so you can have an idea. And this is like the new developments of Greenbelt Mall. They're beautifying it in the outside. So it's a mixture of testing my new camera and a mixture of a walking tour video. Then it's not just a mall, they have office buildings, the Shangri-La hotels over there. So it's literally like a little city within a city. And ahead of me, I can see all the skyscrapers from Ayala Avenue. Over here, they're renovating those buildings. That's Ayala Avenue over there, and this is the outside of Glorieta. In the nighttime, beautiful, it lights up. And they have a Hard Rock Cafe over here. So it's basically two Hard Rock Cafes, to my knowledge. They got one here, and they got another one in Mall of Asia. So pretty good to know. This is still the outside, and then over here, we got Hard Rock Cafe. So pretty good to know. And then we got even Seattle's coffee. I like their coffee here. Actually pretty good. And then we're gonna walk towards the other side, because the other side is nicer. Then ahead of me, it gets nice because we got One Ayala, SM Makati, and they got a couple of neon lights. And this is like a new plaza that they developed in the main entrance of Glorieta. So I'm gonna walk around in squares to show you what it looks like. And then I'll make it to One Ayala, one of the balconies, to show you the view. It's gonna be actually pretty epic. What you see here, this is the entrance to Glorieta with the two towers. Then One Ayala Mall is right there, and underneath they got a main bus terminal. And then you can go inside and take the MRT 3 that goes all over through EDSA from Taft Avenue to North Avenue, so a good way to connect. And then another thing, I can walk from One Ayala all the way to Greenbelt without having to exit the outside area. So that's pretty nice. You shelter, get some air con, and then make it towards the other side. So I'm just showing you around here what's going on. You see Glorieta, in the nighttime they lit this up pretty beautiful. But we're gonna get some views in the second or third floor of this mall. This is the balcony of One Ayala. They got multiple levels on top, and then this is what you get right here. The plaza, they're planting trees, so I guess in the future, in a few years, this area is gonna be a happening spot. Especially in the nighttime, it's beautiful. I'm gonna shelter in the mall to get some aircon before I hit Makati Avenue and walk a couple of blocks through Makati in the heat. But that's the beauty about the Philippines. You can shelter in the mall and then outside, and that way it helps you out with the brutal heat that we got here. So here, this is Glorieta Mall, part of the inside, but it's super massive, you know. Now those malls are bigger than this one, but this mall I always get lost because it has so many hallways, like you don't know where to go. But they've been doing renovations in the inside and the outside. Not fully finished yet, but once it's done, this is gonna be a happening spot. So they got one hallway over here. And the reason it's busy, because this area connects you to the other mall and to the MRT and bus station. This is like the main atrium of the mall. You can see how big it is. And I've shown enough of the mall, now I'm just gonna hit the streets. So now I made it to the Greenbelt side. I walked from Landmark, you know, I walked from One Ayala all the way indoors in the second floor, outside here without having to go outside, and now I'm outside in the streets. So I'm gonna redo the same walk that I did in my last walk, which unfortunately the file didn't come out as I wanted. I'm gonna walk again by some of the regular streets of Makati, walk my walk by Makati Avenue and see what are the bars over there, and that way I test out the camera to see how it is. This is the other side of Glorieta where I was walking. It's multiple buildings altogether. I believe like it's divided in 5 parts. And then if you go there, it's some of the newer buildings of Makati Avenue before you head towards Poblacion. Here's where it's gonna get nice because we got Ayala Avenue ahead of me, Makati Avenue over here, and the beautiful trees. But I'm gonna go in the underpassage and make it towards the other side and see what's happening. You see what's going on here. I really can't get enough of how beautiful the streets are there. And over here's a Shangri-La. They got, I believe, like 3 Shangri-Las. If I'm not mistaken, one in Ortigas, one in Bonifacio Global City, and this one in Makati. Well, here's one of the nicest intersections of Ayala. They got Ayala Triangle Park and Peninsula Hotel. I'm not gonna go in the park because I was literally looking at the rules in the webpage and it's not allowed to videotape, especially if it's commercial. So I'm just gonna show you from the outside and keep walking towards, like if I'm heading towards Poblacion. And this is Ayala and the Triangle Park is right here. But I gotta go in the underpassage to cross towards the other street to see what's going on. And this over here is the underpassage. You can see pretty beautiful with the street art in the ceiling. Wow, look at this. Gorgeous, right? I'm gonna make it towards this way and walk Makati Avenue towards the other side. Then over here we got the iconic Shangri-La right here. And then Peninsula Hotel is literally right behind me, but they don't got the fountain on today. But that's okay, sometimes they turn it on, other times they don't turn it on. But I'm gonna walk over Makati Avenue and I wanna show you a place where I used to rent a car, Hertz and Thrifty. But now that I live in BDC, I go to the one in the BDC branch. But this street is actually pretty nice because they have a lot of trees, a lot of things going on. Hopefully this footage come out good, but just forgive me because I'm still learning how to play and use this camera out here. And this is the entrance to Ayala Triangle. But I highly, even though it's not allowed to video, I highly recommend that you guys go inside there if you've never been. Such a gorgeous urban oasis, the trees and everything. Then over here is Hertz and Thrifty. That's where they have a mayor car rental Makati. If you're looking to rent a car and drive around, this is a good place for you to come. Let me walk straight towards another local street so you can see what's going on. I'm trying to remember the route that I took last time. One thing I know is that in the other area, there's a lot of embassies, including the embassy of Saudi Arabia, and you'll see a lot of armed coastal guards and a lot of people lining up to go inside. Saudi Arabia has a lot of Filipinos working there, especially OFW, so it makes sense that they have a massive line to go in. Then the enemy, they have a mayor office building, and they have a roll. It's like, yes, rollers is all over, but the interesting thing about this roll is, I'm not gonna point the camera over that way, you have a guard, armed with a heavy machine, you know what I mean? Because this is literally out in the street and anybody can just go in and take whatever's inside rollers, so it literally makes sense. And the enemy, you can see the buildings of Poblacion, and these are super tall buildings. I'm not sure how old they are, but it kind of reminds me of the tallest buildings in Indonesia, in Jakarta, like the same concept of architecture. So I'm not sure if the same architect designed it, but pretty interesting. Then I literally passed the street, Paseo de Rojas, which are one of the main avenues in Makati. Paseo de Rojas, Makati Avenue over here, and then Ayala. But I'm gonna walk in towards, I see my first regular street, and show you the vibes over there. It's a weekday, so there's probably more movement than when I filmed in the past on a Sunday. And this building has a pretty interesting concept of architecture, and pretty tall. I think it's one of the tallest buildings in Metro Manila or in the Philippines. Like when you pass by EDSA, you'll see this from a distance. And even on the airplane, when you're taking off or landing, those are some of the buildings that you're gonna see. I am in one of the regular streets, and more developments going on. The neighborhood just keeps on developing and developing nonstop. And not just here, all over the 16 cities in Metro Manila, they're popping up condos, skyscrapers, etc. A lot of developments going on. You see the curias, measuring the road, so I'll get them space. And I like these regular streets besides the main one. They're beautiful, they got a lot of trees, and they're gorgeous. I like the architecture of this building. Pretty nice. And then look at this street over here. Tight, but they're pretty nice and clean. Then look at the intersection of one of the streets out here. Beautiful white trees, the cobblestones, and pretty local. I'm gonna walk over here. Oh, they got a couple of nice restaurants over here. Then ahead of me, it gets kind of like more private because they got a couple of embassies and the Velasquez part where they do the Salcedo market. And look how nice the street is. And we got a couple of residential units over here. So, Makati is a nice area. The only thing is just more chill than Bonifacio Global City. It doesn't have like amount of crowds walking back and forth. Picking the next road, I'm gonna make a left, and that's where they got the mayor Saudi Arabia embassy. And then I'm gonna pass in the outside of Salcedo to see what's going on. And over here, I'm right next to Jaime C. Velasquez Park right here. And on Saturdays morning until like around 2, I believe, they do the street market, you know, like a food market. And I went there, but I didn't film it. It was so crowded. But if you guys are really into that, I recommend that you do it. The only thing that I think I'm missing about doing in Makati is doing Sunday car free. I did that when I was in Jakarta, Indonesia, but I haven't done it here. I think it's from 6 to 10. So maybe one day I'll come and do that event where people jog, they run around, you know, and a pretty chill spot. Something to do. And then I think there's a market in Legazpi Park. Somebody told me that in the comments, so I might do that and check it out and blog it. And they got some street food here that are open because it's a weekday, you know, and people work out here. I made it to this avenue. That's gonna take me straight into Ayala Triangle. That's a nice tall buildings we got going on here. Here you see? So it's not just Ayala, even the regular streets right here, they're pretty interesting to look at. Over here, we're making it back towards Ayala Avenue where they have Main Avenue and a lot of glass buildings. So there's more movement out here today. Obviously, because today is a Thursday, the day that I filmed this video. If you film in a weekend, it'll be quiet, but most of the people they'll be hanging out in the malls because we have like 4 or 5 massive malls over here in Makati. And this is what it looks like right here. See how beautiful the glass buildings are and modern. Look at this street over here, I love it. Nice and beautiful, impeccable and clean. And you see a little bit of movement of people out here because getting off of work or going around to get some food, and they come from other areas of the metro to work out here. And look at it, nice and smooth, so it gives you an idea where the camera is shooting. I'm gonna cross over here because this is pedestrian. And now I cross the other side, so it's gonna walk back to Makati Avenue and probably call it a day. I already filmed like a good amount. The only bad thing is you do a lot of cardio here because you gotta go in the underpassage and cross up. So imagine doing a long walk in the heat. That's another level, but it's a good workout. So I gotta tell you, the battery level of this is good. Like I've been filming who knows how long. I'll find out when I post a video, it's still 74%. So I can make a couple of more blocks under the same battery. Starting to sweat now because the humidity is really getting me after you stay out for a while, you know. But it started with like 106 Fahrenheit, 90 something, but it felt like 106, so that's why it gets you pretty bad, you know. And then we keep going, and that's the entrance of Ayala Triangle right there, a nice park that we got going on. And like I said, I recommend that you guys go and explore in the inside. But I think now I'm gonna start wrapping up the video. I already testing the new camera. Hopefully now the footage comes out good and I'm able to upload the video. But you know, mistakes gotta happen in order for you to learn and master your skills and be a better person. So I was a little frustrated because I filmed before like over 30 minutes of footage and I lost it, but you know, never give up, just stand up. It motivates me to work even harder. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all and peace.